Circuit Judge, Part 1, Alex Pearson.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here in your home crowd, so I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Senior Assistant District Attorney Alex Pearson. I've been prosecuting criminal cases for about 8 years now. One of the things I've handled has been all the way from first-degree murder all the way down to your more basic level offenses. You know, DUIs, things of that nature. And what I've noticed as a prosecutor here in this county and around this district is one thing that's significantly increasing, and that's crime. And you say, why is crime increasing? Well, it's increasing because of narcotics addiction, particularly prescription pills. And one of the things that I want to do is take my experience as a prosecutor and bring that to Circuit Court Judge Part 1 and help address some of the criminal caseload. We have 3 civil circuit judges, or primarily civil circuit judges, in this judicial district. We have 1 primarily criminal court judge in this judicial district. I want to assist our criminal court judge, John Duggar, by helping him get his caseload below 2,000 cases. Another aspect that I want to talk to you about has to do with youthful, nonviolent, first-time offenders. One of the things that I've noticed is the youthful, nonviolent, first-time offender of today is the career offender of tomorrow. Why is that? Well, one of the reasons is because no matter if we put them in jail, if we put them on probation, or if we put them in rehabilitation, if we don't do some type of transition to work program, they're going to run around with the same friends when they get out of that program. They're going to hang around with the same people, and then the sheriff's going to be seeing them again. And what we don't want to do is we want to break that cycle. We want to break that cycle. Another thing I want to do with Circuit Court Part 1 is bring up balance. I want to hear civil cases and criminal cases. And you say, well, what about the civil cases? Well, of course, Chancellor Jenkins was just up here. I used to work for Chancellor Jenkins. I also earned a Certificate of Academic Excellence in Constitutional Law, a Certificate of Academic Excellence in Wealth Transfer Tax. I also received the Dean's Citation for Extraordinary Contributions to the University of Tennessee College of Law. I don't have a lot of time tonight, so I'm not going to keep going on and on. I have a website. It's www.alexpearsonforjudge.com. I'm going to be available after this meeting to address any questions or concerns you might have. I certainly would very much appreciate your vote and consideration. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much.
Also, for Circuit Judge Part 1, Linda Woolsey.
Good evening. I'm very glad to be here tonight. In thinking about what to talk to you about tonight, I came up with 3 questions that I think most voters in this district should be asking themselves about this race. Number 1 is, who am I? Well, I am first and foremost a Christian. I was raised in a church. I've always been active in the church, and my Christian faith is important to me. I'm a wife and mother. I've been married over 34 years to Roger Woolsey, who's here tonight. We live on a farm in the Belton community, or above Belton in northern Greene County. My husband's ancestors have always been full-time farmers, and we still operate that farming operation. Roger and I have raised 2 children, both of whom are college graduates. I got my law degree from the University of Tennessee, and Roger and I, who's also an attorney, went together and formed a law partnership, working out of an office in Greenville, and we practiced up there for over 30 years. I serve as a part-time judge, city judge, for the towns of Greenville, Belton, and Tusculum. And then last but not least, I've been a lifelong Republican. I like to say that my first remembrance and memories of any kind of political activity was going with my father when he took me to put Barry Goldwater flyers on car windshields. So that kind of tells my age. And for those of you that don't really remember Barry Goldwater, he was an unsuccessful presidential candidate back in the 60s. Second question is, what is his position? You've heard Mr. Pearson up here talking about the criminal aspect. Well, the fact is, this is a civil position. This is designated to hear civil cases, which are non-criminal cases. The majority of what's actually heard by judges in these positions are domestic related. They deal with divorce, custody, formation of parenting plans, that kind of thing. The kind of cases that I think life experience is an extremely important element for a judge to have to make these kind of decisions. If there is any official action, our criminal court judge is busy. You'll hear from him in a minute. He's very busy. The person serving in these civil positions now have rendered assistance when asked. It's not been that often. If there is an official decision to designate one of these positions as hearing more criminal cases, I know for a fact that one of these sitting judges plans on exercising his seniority because he wants that assignment. So I really don't think this position, anybody who gets this position is going to be able to change what it is, which is a civil trial judge position. Third and most important question is what qualifies me for serving this position. Number one, I've been a part-time judge over 20 years. I know how to handle a court. I've been a trial attorney, handling literally thousands of cases in this court. So I've seen all the various, I know how this affects people's lives. And I bet you're not going to tackle a female. I'm hoping I can get that. Because, in closing, what I would like to say is I will use a common sense approach in applying the law. I know that I've got the conservative values and the ethical convictions to do a good job and enable me to serve the citizens of this district. Thank you very much.